It's not that you're not confident. The issue is that you are too familiar with yourself. There is nothing that you can do that will be wonderful in your own sight. There is nothing that you can do that will be amazing to you. And so you have to latch on to other people. You can't do anything by yourself or for yourself. You have to latch on to other people because only then will it mean something. See, this is lack of self-respect, my friend. See, this is why you will praise and admire people for doing the exact same thing that you can do. But when you do it, you do not consider it to be anything. And because of this, because you have gotten too familiar with yourself, see, you disqualify yourself. You judge yourself because you think that the things that you do is ordinary. And so instead of investing time in yourself, investing finances or money in yourself, you invest in celebrities. And it's difficult for you not to value or admire something that you're investing in. Because the only way you can invest in something is if you deem that thing to be valuable. And it's difficult, might I add, impossible, to not be confident when you are aware of the things being invested in you. There is nobody that is born special. You have to understand. The reason why you can look at these celebrities and you admire them is because of how much you invest in them. It's not a rocket science. You invest your time into them. You invest your money into them. You invest everything and energy into them. Some people would defend celebrities and famous people more than they can stand up for themselves. Let me bet you $1. I bet you $1. You start investing time into yourself, investing money into yourself, investing effort, invest things into yourself. The same thing you're investing into all these people. Start investing it into yourself. Stop looking down at yourself. Lack of self-respect, my friend. Stop thinking that there is nothing to you. Stop thinking that it's only special when other people do it. And when you do it, it's nothing, you see. Maybe some of us need to start treating ourselves the same way we treat these celebrities. No, so we look at these celebrities and we think there is something special about them. Oh, they are so confident, and we admire them. And you admire people for doing the exact same thing that you can do. And I'm not saying we cannot appreciate art, but what about you? See, that's all I'm saying. You spend your money to buy their ticket, to go see their show. You give them your time and you admire them and you follow them. And I need you to change that mentality. I need you to stop looking down on yourself. Stop selling yourself short. Stop disqualifying yourself. Stop looking down on your own self. You have to become your own number one fan. Look, you have to treat yourself like the celebrity. Treat yourself the same way you treat these people. Because it's not that these people are special. It's not that they were born with confidence. Nobody is born with confidence. I think our confidence is a result of our upbringing, and also things that happen around us also add to either diminish or build our self-confidence. Most people lack confidence because, you see, as a child, when they were growing up, they didn't grow up with a lot of peers. They didn't have friend groups. See, there is something that friend group does for your own self-confidence. As you're growing up and they are encouraging you, you do something great because they are pointing out certain strengths in you that you might not really recognize, right? Because we sometimes overlook our own our qualities. So sometimes all we need is people to shine light on those things that we might overlook about ourselves. And now you have something to hold on to, something to build confidence. Look more at yourself, right? To spend time with yourself, self-awareness, get to know yourself, invest time into your own self. And by doing this, you will begin to see things about yourself that you have overlooked. And do not look down on anything that you can do. Do not look down on anything that you can do. Because the same thing that you look down in yourself is the same thing that you admire in other people. The lack of self-respect has to stop. Start valuing your own self. I think that the main thing that sort of stops us from building the kind of life that we want, building the life where we are able to be confident in who we are, is because of how much attachment or how stuck we are in who we believe that we are. And this part of ourselves that we are stuck to, that we are very attached to. The areas of our life that we have come to accept, where we don't really allow ourselves to change. It's our unchanging self. And I've been meaning to make this video for a while because I believe it's something that most of us deal with, even in this time. I know I've found myself here. Confidence is a choice that you have to make. Every single day, you have to choose to be confident. When we're talking about being confident with yourself, I think it's important to realize that, where you want to get to is at a place where you do something for yourself, not because of other people, not because you want to be liked by other people. And I know confidence is something that I used to struggle with a lot. But I think today I've gotten so much better with having confidence in myself. And it's not really because I am someone special or because I was born with this gift. But I think it's because I have changed my perspective on a lot of things. And I think the biggest one as well is knowing that anything can be changed. Because when I was growing up, I was what most people would consider an introvert. But I never had that word, introvert or extrovert, really until I came over to the States. And when you believe in this label, it's difficult for you to bring yourself to a place where you allow yourself to change. Confident with yourself is something that is ever changing, because with each new day, you have to make a choice to be confident in a different way or different scenario that you find yourself in. And this is what I mean by it's ever changing, because I think my motivation for being confident today is different from what it used to be, and not even quite long. Because I think sometimes you want to build yourself. You want to change yourself so that other people would accept you, so that you will be liked by other people. But I think my understanding for confidence and my perspective has changed from what it used to be. So sometimes your motivation to love yourself is so that the absence of certain people won't bother you. And that might be okay if you're just starting your journey with change and allowing yourself to change. But that is not where you want to stay. But I think an even better foundation or motivation to love yourself is to love yourself. Love yourself so much that you love yourself more than even caring whether the person is there or not. Because if the entire foundation for you changing, for you allowing yourself to change, is so that you'll be able to forget about another person, see, that foundation is flawed. Because the moment that something happens with that person, the moment that something happens and you cross path again, whether in thoughts or in passing, that whole foundation that you have built your self-love on, so you'll be able to forget this person, it crumbles. And this is what happened to me. This is a place where I found myself. But if this is where you find yourself, that's good. Because now you can rebuild yourself and rebuild yourself the right way. I think the biggest change to mentality or the way that we do the things that we do is coming to a place where you choose to do it for yourself. So I think the thing with confidence sometimes is because of how little that we invest in ourselves. Like I said earlier, I think one thing that we need to break out of is accepting the way that we are, thinking that this is just who we are and there is nothing that we can do about it. If you lack confidence, like I said earlier, you have to understand that confidence is a choice. There is nobody that is born with confidence. Confidence is a state of mind, right? When you start picking up hobby for yourself, you start doing things for yourself. You start becoming the main character of your own life. You have to let yourself go. You have to let yourself change. When you walk into that room with your head held high. You see, I think these are the choices sometimes that we failed to make, or at least we think that we cannot make. People who feel special do not feel special because they were born with any form of special skill or special ability. People only feel special because other people make them feel special. Nobody came into this world with anything and nobody lives with nothing. So all that you have is you. And if all that you have is you can't look down on you. You can't invest in other people and don't put no effort in yourself. There is no part of you that you should be stuck with. Do not be stuck in your past or attached to the life that you're trying to change. You see, when you keep replaying those experiences and you keep replaying those thoughts, your body, your mind will think that you are constantly going through them. And in a way, it makes it impossible to escape such situations. And I'm not saying you have to forget everything, but what I'm saying is you have to be able to remove yourself from what happened in the past and realize that regardless of what happened to you in the past, that does not mean that you have to live under its shadow. I remember when I was in school, back home, I was growing up, and I was running. One day, school got dismissed, and I was running outside to go meet my other friends. And this older guy just put his feet out, and I tripped over and I fell. I fell in front of hundreds of people outside. And I remember I felt like, I really felt like I could disappear right there. And I saw the guy, I knew the guy because I saw him a couple of times, but we were not that close. And he was way older than me. He was way older than me. And when that stuff happened, I was so embarrassed. And I just got up, I dusted my school uniform, and I kept it moving. That had nothing to do with who you are. So do not allow that to define who you currently are now or who you are supposed to be in the future. Bring yourself to a place where you allow yourself to change. See, nothing is going to change unless you let yourself go. And by letting yourself go, I mean let go of those identity, the way that you see yourself, those parts that you are attached to. Nothing is going to change until we allow ourselves to develop. And you have to realize that you can't be ashamed of loving yourself. You can't be ashamed of taking steps or allowing yourself to change, or consciously doing things for your own betterment in a way. And I think there are certain actions that we can take and that we can be ashamed of. But when it comes to your own betterment, when it comes to the things that you're doing to grow for yourself, and I think that's something that you have to hold on to appreciate. It's the fact that you're allowing yourself to change and you're taking that step towards change. It's the fact that you're bringing yourself to a place where you're making the choice to be confident. You're investing in yourself. You're starting to treat yourself like the same way you treat celebrities. You're starting to see something special in yourself. Your confidence hangs between what you believe about yourself and how you show up in the world. And I'll leave you with this. Remember, confidence grows where there is a convergence or a meeting of self-acceptance and courage. It doesn't mean that there is no imperfection. As a matter of fact, you have to be able to embrace imperfection. Always act, always make a move, not only in the absence of fear. You know what you want, you see it right in front of you. And you just tell your homeboy, or you tell your friends, go, act. You have a crush, go speak to your crush, my man. Put yourself out there for yourself. Put yourself out there to yourself. Put yourself out there to show yourself that you can. And you say, oh no, man, I can't, you see. I think if you click this because there's a hunger that you have inside of yourself for betterment, to improve yourself. I read a quote that says, confidence is born when self-awareness and courage touches hands. You have to consciously work in it. Confidence is not something you say, oh, let me be strong first, then I can be confident. Confidence, it's not an end goal in a way because it's an ever-changing and ever-evolving process. You see, confidence, it is not the denial of weakness or fear or even a little bit of shyness, but an integration of all these things. It's an acceptance that strength and weakness can coexist in one soul. And there was a time when I used to mistake arrogance for confidence. But you see, the thing with arrogance is, arrogant claim that they do not have doubt. They do not have fear. They claim they have no vulnerability. And I think that's where confidence is different. And that's where confidence shines through. Because people who are confident can admit their doubt, but they still act anyways. You see, people who are arrogant, they're only arrogant for other people. Because people who are arrogant, they seek validation. You see, the arrogance is a mask. You see, but people who are confident do not seek validation. So there is no need for them to deny or present themselves. The only thing that they are concerned about is how they would align their inner belief, right, with their outer actions. So this is what I believe. I know I keep using this, but I believe I like that person. But I'm scared to talk to them. But I have to take an action that will match that belief. This is what I want to say about the way that this person made me feel. And I don't feel like I can speak to this person. But I will do it anyways. So if you're still watching this, I just want to thank you. Keep making those choices that's bringing you closer to the person that you want to become. Thank you.